How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, and today's video, kind of similar to last week, except we're talking about a different player, Julius Mims, second best player, arguably you could say our most consistent player overall. Had a really good year, averaged nearly 11 points, 8 rebounds, which led Conference USA. His impact was high. He improved his shooting throughout the year, starting to knock down those threes, had some insane dunks, super athletic, 6'9", versatile forward. Did a lot of really good things for us, really happy with how he played for us. Obviously wish we could have had a little bit better of a season, but if it wasn't for him, I don't think we'd be quite as good as we were. So let's talk all things about Julius Mims today. You can tell right off the bat that Juice was going to be a great player for us. Played pretty well in that scrimmage against the Mexican team. Played pretty well in the scrimmage against each other. Played well against Adams State. Had 12 points. Shot the ball well and efficiently. Took smart shots. Didn't play against Highlands because he was hurt or had the concussion protocol. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was something like that. Played very well against UNM. Had 8 points. Tried to switch threes, but didn't knock him down. But came back the next game against Sanford and hit a 3 right off the bat. Hit a 3 to start, the second half as well in that game. And I'm not sure how many threes he hit on the year. Not a whole lot, but that's something that definitely improved throughout the year. Jacoby, in my opinion, was our most improved player, but I think Juice had a lot of areas at his game that definitely improved as well. And Juice was such a great player, had a lot of big games for us. When he struggled, though, we really struggled as a team, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, that just goes to show the impact that Juice had for the Aggies this past season. Something that was up and down for Juice definitely was his free throw shooting. Even though his shooting overall definitely improved from the three-point range, he wasn't really much of a midi guy. But when you get to the line, you just never knew how it was going to go. Sometimes he was really good from the line, sometimes not so much. His percentage wasn't the highest in the world. But overall, he shot efficiently from the field, just like he did his 2 years at Idaho. Had more of an impact for the Aggies, I believe, and met expectations in my opinion. Obviously, as a team itself, and the record-wise, maybe not, but Juice himself, I think, did what he needed to do to earn a spot on a professional team for the future. I think one of his better stretches this season was when conference first started. Even though we lost to Missouri State early on, 89-82, a big reason we almost came back in that game was because of Juice, who had 22 points, had 14 rebounds. The next game in a win, didn't score as much, only had 8 points, but had 15 rebounds. Did a lot of great things. There were some times in those games early on in conference again where he wasn't playing his best brand of basketball, and we weren't winning a lot of games. But the games he was playing really well, we either won or games that we should have won. As you guys know, so many games this season that we should have won. Going against FIU, Juice missed a big dunk that could have helped us win. Still played a great game overall. Did a lot of great things down the stretch of the season. Not everything goes your way, though, but Juice played hard through it. I don't really want to say he was more of a hothead. There definitely were moments you could tell I think he was a little bit in his head, but when he got out of his head, did a lot of great things. For example, in the tournament, he didn't play that great in the Conference USA tournament. I don't know if he was in his head. I know he had a little injury against Kennesaw State. Not sure what went on there. But, playing basketball, it's going to happen. You're going to get in your own head at times, especially when you're a big guy like that. A lot of times people expect you to just go in there and dominate, and it's not as easy as it looks, with the size and all that. So that can definitely get to a player. But overall, I think he did a great job pushing through it. And again, I'm sounding so redundant, but just super happy with his play. I know Terriante Thomas, our assistant coach, was really excited to bring him on board, and rightfully so. And we saw why he was excited. And obviously, Juice did some big things for us. He had 17 double-digit point games on the year, including a 21-point performance against Liberty. You can make an argument that was one of his better games, too. Second most points he scored on the season. And a game that the Aggies really had a good chance at winning against the best team in the conference throughout the regular season. So, Juice made sure to, play up to par against those top teams. I know early on people were saying that he was only playing against good against the non-D1 schools, but that is far from the truth. He was doing really good against both. Obviously played better against the Division II schools because they were easier opponents for him to go against. Those guys, their centers were, smaller than Juice, so Juice was able to dominate with ease, and he was able to translate well to the Division I level playing against those guys. A true, D1 hooper, and again, has a, bright future playing professional basketball if he decides to go that route. Not too sure what he's going to decide, but regardless of whatever he does, I'm sure he'll be successful. He was a double-double machine. I believe he had about 8 double-doubles on the season, averaging near double-double. There was one point during Conference USA where he was averaging a double-double, and he was averaging, 9 rebounds until the last couple games where he wasn't grabbing as much. Those stats obviously going to dwindle a little bit, especially from the start of the season. But just did a lot of great things, was dominant for us. Like I said, our most consistent guy. Jamel was great for us, obviously our best player, but he had moments where his shot was off. He only, he had 3 games where he didn't score in double figures. Even the games he did score in double figures sometimes, late in the, season, he took a lot of shots to get those points. Elijah Elliott had his up and down. Same with Jalen Randall, a lot of our offensive guys, a lot of our guards mainly. So it was really nice to see a post be really consistent, very versatile, just such a smart player. That's the type of guy you want on your team, and a guy that just contributes to winning basketball overall. Like I said earlier, Juice did come from Idaho, so I do wonder what he thinks, because Idaho did make the NCAA tournament. Obviously didn't go far, but they got a 15 seed, got out early. But I wonder how he thinks like, dang, that could have been me. Because the Aggies definitely had a chance to do the same thing. It's always weird watching, those tournament games, especially those like first 4 games or like the 16, 15 seeds. Those are teams that the Aggies could definitely compete with and possibly beat. It's always nice to see those teams that the Aggies could, just play with and hang around with that are in the tournament. Like, you look at last year, UNM made it. Aggies could definitely do well there. UNM right now is playing really well. They're in the NIT Final Four. Another team the Aggies beat. Liberty did well in the NIT. I know it's different from the NCAA tournament, but there's all these really good mid-majors teams that the Aggies are able to compete with. And those are teams that they're going to have to probably be on their schedule for years to come, because not a lot of high majors are playing those mid-majors anymore, because if they play and they lose, all it takes is one good game from a mid-major to upset a high major, and, it can happen to anybody. Overall, Juice was just a dominant force for us in the paint. Did a lot of great things overall, especially with us kind of lacking some true centers. Juice came in there and fit right in, played the 4 and 5, did a lot of great things. I think played a little bit of 3 as well. Obviously didn't play the 1 or the 2 because he's not a guard. But it's always nice when you got guys play multiple positions like that. For the Blazers, we have a guy like Chris Murray that can do that, 6'8", but plays center. Juice being 6'9" in college basketball, playing center at times too, which is a little more common than you'd see in the NBA. But still just great to have a versatile player overall. And in my opinion, he met expectations. I think he did everything we wanted him to do. You can make the argument that he maybe, rose to the occasion and, did even better than the expectations were. I don't think he, did any less than I expected him to. I think he did everything we needed him to. And it wasn't his fault that we didn't have the season we wanted. That was a team effort. I'm thinking about making other videos as well, explaining other Aggies and their season and how good they were for us, like maybe Elijah Elliott, Jalen Randall, kind of go about that. I've also thought about maybe incorporating some more shorts videos, just giving quick glances at these players, because those tend to get a lot more views. A lot of people watch those videos that aren't subscribed to the channel or don't know much about New Mexico State basketball, don't know much about these players, might give them the chance to subscribe, become fans, go from there. So let me know if you guys think I should do that. I think it'd be a really good idea. Other than that, it's going to close out the video. I know it's a little bit shorter, but I think I touched on everything I wanted to touch on. You guys obviously watch Juice all year long, know how great of a player he was for us. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of his play. Did he meet expectations? Were you expecting him to be a little bit better, worse, whatever? That's going to close the video. I'm out.